Hi everybody. So today we're going to start working on bar graphs. And bar graphs, you've seen them before. You've probably even made them before. And your assignment today is going to take you 2 days to do, or I'm giving you 2 days to complete it. So you will have this video to watch, which is me talking about bar graphs and going through a few examples. And then there are 4 different Khan Academy videos that I'd like you to watch. And there are 2 sets of exercises, which is why I'm giving you 2 days to complete this. So one of the sets of exercises will be reading and interpreting bar graphs, and another set of exercises will be actually creating them. Now you're creating them in Khan Academy. So the way that you'll be making your bars is by clicking and dragging the bars up to the appropriate height. But let's get started here talking about bar graphs. So this is another way, we've looked at pictographs. Bar graphs are another way to display categorical data. That's the focus of these last few days, is how do we work with and display categorical data. So looking at this problem here, imagine you just did a survey of your friends to find which movie they liked the best. And we have a table here. This is called a frequency table, where we've just listed the 5 categories that people could choose from. And then we've got the frequencies, how many people said those things. And making a bar graph, all you're doing is putting your categories along one of the axes. Now, I had shown you in a previous video that bar graphs can be made horizontally. This one is made vertically. So it really doesn't make a difference. It's really preference, but every data display has a title. There's the title, favorite movie type. We've got the genres down at the bottom. You can see that the y-axis is clearly labeled people. So I know what those numbers represent. If you didn't write people there or number of people and just left it blank, I don't know what 2 means. So remember that all of those little things with the labels are important. Now you're going to see some questions in some of the Khan Academy that are asking you which scale would be the most appropriate. And so what they're referring to with the scale is how you do the numbers here. Now here on the y-axis, you can see that they labeled them going by 2s. And so it stopped at 10. Now you could have gone by 1s here as well, but you wouldn't, for example, go by 5s. Because if you went by 5s, you would have 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and there's no need to go that high because the highest count here is 6. So you want to think about scales when you're making your graphs too. All right, so let's keep going here. It says there's a really good way to show relative sizes. So relative sizes means being able to visually compare things instead of just looking at a table of numbers. When I look at this graph, I can clearly see that drama was the least favorite type of movie. Here's another example looking at fruits. So here we had 145 people surveyed, asking them which is the nicest fruit. I don't know how a fruit is nice, but well, blueberry was the winner. So blueberries must be nice fruits. And here's the bar graph. And again, you've got a scale, but this time they did go by 5s on the y-axis because that makes sense. The counts were bigger and the y-axis had to get as high as 40. So we're going to pay attention to that. Now here is the bar graph done horizontally. So it's exactly the same thing. It's just that the categories are listed on the y-axis and the number of people on the x-axis. All right, here's one more example with student grades, a categorical variable, A, B, C, D. And then along the y-axis, we have that going by 5s, showing us how many students got each grade. Now here, where they're putting the numbers on top of the bars, you can do that or not. It really just depends on what you're using to make your bar graph. It does make the graph clearer because I can clearly see without having to count the lines that 12 people got a B. So that's going to just depend, like I said, on what you're using to create your bar graph. Now you will have an assignment coming up in a few days where you will be creating your own graphs, finding some website that will do them. So hint, hint, this website that I'm on right now will allow you to create these kinds of graphs. I'm on a website right now called mathisfun.com, so keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look. We're going to do some of these questions here. And so what I'm going to do is show you the question, and then you can pause the video and think about the answer, and then we'll move on. So this is a bar graph showing the results when a die was thrown a number of times. How many sixes were thrown? So again, pause the video, think of an answer, and then we'll go over it. All right, so this is clearly labeled with our title, the score, meaning what was thrown when the die was rolled, how many, that's what frequency means. So if we look at 6, we can just go across and see that that occurred 3 times. Correct. The number of sixes is given by its frequency, or how high the bar is for the score 6. So we look across and we see that there were 3 sixes. All right, question number 2, favorite colors of 20 students. The bar graph shows the favorite colors of 20 students in a class. How many more of them favored orange than those who favored green? So you want to make sure to read these questions carefully when you're trying to interpret these bar graphs. Pause the video, think about an answer, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so the question is how many more favored orange? So it's not how many favored orange, so we wouldn't want to click 5 because that's how many said orange. Well, green had 1, orange had 5. So if 5 people said orange, 1 person said green, that means that 4 more people said orange than green. So that's how many more. 5 minus 1, 4. All right, hope you got that one. If you did, great job. Okay, method of transport to school. So how do people get to school? Bus, taxi, bike, train, car, or walk? The bar graph shows the usual method of transport. How many students are there all together in the class? Now here's where having those numbers on top of the bars could be pretty helpful. They're not listed on this bar graph, so pause the video, count them up, and let's see what we get. Okay, so bus. Let's see. We have 5 people taking the bus. 1 person with a taxi. That's now 6. We're adding as we go. 3 people biking. So 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 people taking the train. So now that's 11 people. 6 people by car. Now we're at 17. And 5 people walking. So 22 students in total. So we have 5 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6 plus 5. All right, Brett. Brett gets some scores in various classes, his end of year exams. So he's taking math, English, science, history, geography, and computing. Here's another one of those how many more. So how many more did Brett score in his best subject than in his worst subject? So pause the video, reread the question, and think about what's being asked. All right, so I think the first thing we should do here is figure out what Brett's best subject is. And it looks like that was English. He got a score of 60 on an English exam. If that's Brett's best score, I don't know, Brett. All right, but 60 was his best score. His worst score was in geography, and in geography he got a 25. So we're trying to see how much higher English was than geography. So 60 points on English, 25 points in geography. That's going to give us a difference of 35 points. Yes, well done. All right, this is Brett's scores again. And this bar graph shows the scores Brett obtained in his end of year exams. Here's a hard one. Luke's score in English was 15% higher than Brett's score in English. What was Luke's score in English? All right, so let's see. Now this is going to involve percents. So what we have to figure out is Luke got some score that is 15% higher than Brett's score. So let's go. I'm going to pause this and go over to my whiteboard here so we can write this one out. We already know that Brett got a 60 in English. So let's come over here to the whiteboard. Okay, let's grab a pen here. A blue pen looks good. So what do we have here? Brett got a 60. Luke is 15% more than Brett. So if we take Brett's score, which is a 60, and we add 15% of 60. Now we've done some problems taking a percent of a number, so hopefully that is comfortable. You're familiar with that now. If I want to do 15% of 60, I need to convert 15% into a decimal and multiply it by 60. So let's see, I'm going to grab a calculator here and let's figure out 60 plus 0.15 times, well, first let's figure out 15% of 60 is 9. So that means that Luke got 9 points more than Brett. So Luke, there's his score. All right, let's come back over here and check that one out. There we go. Okay, and you can see at the bottom exactly how that was done. All right, now there are about 5 more questions on here. If you wanted to check those out on your own and try them, feel free. I will provide the link to where I am right now so that you can get there. But otherwise, I think you'll be good to go on the Khan Academy assignments. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye.